Hello, everyone, and good evening. Welcome to the Linglobe channel. This time, we'll be bringing you content about preserving the world's languages for the future. Please enjoy it to the end.
Welcome to Linglobe Voice. Today's exploration is tailored just for you, drawing directly from the provided Linglobe materials.
Yeah, and it's an incredibly fascinating topic today.
It really is. So let's jump right in. I'm going to read the title of our first slide here. It's called The Trobriand Islanders, a cinematic journey into the language and culture of the Kiruwina Islands.
Right, which sets the stage perfectly.
Exactly. So, just to keep this brief, our mission today is to explore this visually and culturally rich presentation. We really want to understand how a highly isolated indigenous population manages to perfectly balance their sacred ancient traditions with the logistical demands of the modern world.
Because it's a delicate balance, for sure.
It is. Which takes us right to the geography. Our next slide title is Where the Ocean Meets Tradition.
So to give you some context, we are looking at the Oceania and Melanesia region here, primarily focusing on Kiruwina Island.
Okay, right out in the ocean.
Exactly. And the indigenous population there, they really serve as the custodians of this deeply unique, highly isolated island culture.
Custodians. I mean, that sounds almost like they're guarding a living, breathing time capsule out in the middle of the ocean.
It really does. But, that isolation also creates vulnerabilities, which is why they developed the system in our next slide.
Right, so the next slide title is The Kula Ring, an ocean of exchange.
Yeah. So the Kula Ring is this highly ritualized network, and it basically runs on a 4-part cycle.
Okay, well, what's the first part?
First, you have these incredibly dangerous canoe expeditions across the archipelago.
Wow.
Then second is the exchange of these sacred shell valuables. Third, they forge lifelong inter-island alliances. And finally, fourth, it generates this massive community pride and unity back home.
Wait, so they're navigating treacherous ocean waves in canoes? Yeah. Like, just to trade shells?
I know how it sounds.
I mean, it sounds like an extreme high-stakes version of a modern corporate networking event, but, with actual life-or-death logistics.
Right. Well, it's not merely commerce, you have to remember. The shells are really a vehicle for building an unbreakable social fabric across these isolated islands. It's a survival pact.
Oh, okay. So while shells build alliances across the water, it seems like the true measure of status back on land comes from a really unexpected source.
Oh, absolutely.
Which brings us to the next slide, explicitly titled The Golden Harvest.
Yeah, so on land, the humble yam is basically the ultimate cultural symbol for the Trobriand Islanders.
The yam? Like the vegetable?
Exactly. It is the physical manifestation of wealth and prosperity for them. So the height and the scale of a family's yam pile serve as this visual metric to proudly display their social status to the entire village.
That is amazing. So a towering, perfectly engineered pile of yams is basically their version of like parking a brand new sports car in the driveway for all the neighbors to see.
That's a perfect way to look at it. It's all about visible prestige.
That's wild. But they also have to deal with the modern world now. Let's look at the next slide, titled The Dual Economies of the Islands.
Right, so the islanders masterfully juggle two completely distinct systems. You have the traditional economy, which runs on the yams and shells.
Okay, the sports cars.
Exactly, and that's used strictly for sacred rituals, status, and the Kula network. But then running parallel is the modern economy, and that runs on the Papua New Guinean Kina, or PGK.
Gotcha.
And that currency is used for, everyday transactions and logistical interactions with the outside world.
But they don't mix.
No, and that's the absolute genius of it. This dual system protects their sacred values from being diluted by globalized fiat currency. You can't just buy status.
I mean, balancing two economies and navigating complex inter-island alliances, that requires an incredibly sophisticated method of communication.
Oh, without a doubt.
Which brings us to our next slide, titled Tracing the Origins.
So looking at the linguistic history, the language shares deep DNA with Polynesian, Melanesian, and Micronesian languages.
Okay.
And it survived through centuries of strict, robust oral traditions with absolutely no written records.
Wait, really? Not at all.
None. Not until the contact era in the late 19th century when European explorers arrived, which kind of sparked a new era of linguistic evolution.
You know, it is mind-boggling that a culture could maintain strict historical accuracy for centuries just by speaking.
It really is incredible.
I mean, it makes you realize how much cognitive outsourcing we do today
Yeah.
by, relying on our smartphones to remember everything for us.
Oh, 100%. We've lost that muscle entirely.
Speaking of the language, let's look at its actual mechanics. The next slide is titled The Architecture of Language.
Right. So the language itself is called Kiruwina, and mechanically it uses a strict subject-verb-object, or SVO structure.
Okay, pretty standard foundation.
Yeah, but within that, it utilizes highly complex noun classes and these really expressive prefixes. Plus, it features a vowel-rich, simple-syllable soundscape.
Oh, so it sounds different.
Exactly. It makes it distinctively fluid and musical. It's designed to be spoken and heard over distances.
I wonder how this fluid, musical, strictly oral language eventually made its way onto paper, though.
It was a big transition, for sure.
Yeah, so our next slide is explicitly titled From Sound to Script. And looking at the slide, I can see the Islanders' alphabet has the letters A, B, D, E, G, I, K, L, M, N, O, P, S, T, U, V, W, Y.
Yeah. And today, English is taught in schools, mostly to help the Islanders navigate the modern world in that PGK economy we talked about.
Right, the modern logistical stuff.
But Kiruwina remains the language of the soul. It's the language of internal community life. So now their transient oral history is safely preserved in script.
Oh, I see. So English is basically their formal work email language, while Kiruwina is the private group chat with their closest friends and family.
That is a brilliant analogy, yes.
Well, let's learn some of that group chat language. The next slide is titled Words of Connection.
Let's do it.
I got a quick language lesson for you listening right now. Based on this slide,
Yeah.
Osi means hello.
OC?
Nice. Bolikala is good morning, Bolikalata is good night, and Tuta is thank you.
You pronounce those really well. And notice how the simple vowel-heavy pronunciation of those everyday greetings reflects that fluid musical architecture we were just discussing.
It really does flow so easily. But what strikes me is that all these elements, the yams, the Kula canoes, the language, they all eventually culminate in spectacular physical displays.
They do. It's a very active physical culture.
Let's move to the next slide, explicitly titled Rituals of Competition.
Right. So these are intense community events. First, you have the yam stacking contests.
I'm picturing a lot of yams right now.
Oh, massive amounts. These are fierce, celebratory battles during harvest festivals where families engineer the absolute largest piles of yams possible.
Wow.
And second, you have the Kula canoe races. These are breathtaking sprints across the ocean waves in heavily decorated canoes, acting as the ultimate test of the vessels before grand trading expeditions.
Okay, wait. Engineering a giant tower of yams sounds structurally terrifying.
It's high stakes.
I mean, if your yam pile collapses in the middle of the festival, does your social status come crashing down with it?
Oh, it absolutely does. It is a highly public, catastrophic failure if your yam pile falls.
Oh man, the pressure. Which takes us right into our next slide, titled Melila, the Dance of Stories.
Yes, Melila. These are the traditional communal songs and dances.
Just for entertainment.
No, actually, they are not just entertainment. They are the physical embodiment of the island's history.
Oh, I see. So storytelling becomes movement.
Exactly. It allows the elders and the youth to bridge the generational divide and basically celebrate their heritage together under the stars.
That is so beautiful. Which brings us seamlessly to our final slide. I'll read the title. An Enduring Island Heritage.
It really synthesizes the entire journey. I mean, Kiruwina is a living ecosystem of culture.
Yeah.
You have the fluid sounds of Kiruwina, the prestige of the sacred yam, the lifelong bonds of the Kula exchange, and the shared joy of Melila.
They just blend together perfectly.
They do. They all flow seamlessly into one another, forming an enduring, beautifully preserved civilization that's just thriving in the vastness of Oceania.
Observing how the Trobriand Islanders successfully compartmentalize their sacred, soul-nourishing traditions from the logistical demands of the modern economy offers a profound blueprint for how we might all protect what truly matters in our own increasingly distracted lives. Thank you.
Thank you for watching until the end. We will continue to bring you many more languages from around the world. Please subscribe to our channel. See you next time on the Ling Globe channel.